I'm co-host Scott.
Party fucking shit. Yeah.
Oh.
So hopefully soon.
We are sad faces.
We'll go into today's sections. Chapter 6, Hell's Bells. Love the title chapter. The title of the chapter for this.
Have you read the Dresden Files?
I have not.
That's like his phrase is Hell's Bells. Like when something goes wrong, he's always like Hell's Bells.
So that's essentially like Dungeon Crawler Carl's God Damn It Donut.
It is. Yes, it is. And I think it's funny because I'm pretty positive that Shammy has read Dresden Files because she referenced his opener in something. And I was like, oh, this is a Dresden File reference. So I think this is also a Dresden File reference.
Hell yeah. I love Easter eggs like that. So Nini has essentially what is a resting bitch face with her porcelain mask, and people are going to leave her alone now because of said mask. Because we go back to looking at Callisto's true form Manticore, and we remember his mask. Yeah, that's kind of sort of what I'm picturing here with this. So, except a porcelain like doll mask, and it's super creepy. We find out very quickly that we cannot traverse on top of the maze without losing their sight. And so they have to, as soon as they lose their sight, they have to go back to the fountain, get another drink of water. I say she should just get if she had a bottle, like in Legend of Zelda, she could just fill all her bottles up with the fountain water, and that way they can just do their thing. As we are back at the fountain, we do find the silver bells to navigate the maze. It's within the statue that the fountain is portraying of the Abyssal Dragons. And as we are staring at the statue, Xuandi comes and introduces himself. And rather than just outright trying to kill Nini and Waste, because, that would not work for Xuandi regardless, Xuandi actually tries to recruit Nini and Waste to their side of things as saying that Waste is the closest thing to what an elder creature is, because Waste gains power off of human souls, or Arcanist souls. And Nini, in true hero fashion, says, never! So she will never switch to the dark side. We also get to see what is the true form ability of the Reaper, called Duke of Demise, as she is surrounded by basilisks, because Xuandi is smart enough to know that if he tries to kill Waste and Nini, that he's going to die. So he's going to use somebody else to do it, make things easier for everybody else. But with the Duke of Demise, it makes Nini and Waste immune to instant death magic, and actually reverses it on the attacker. So these basilisks that are biting them end up actually dying themselves instead of killing Waste and Nini. And I love Waste's quote here. It is, hang on as long as it takes. That is the essence of bravery. You hold on to it until it's done, whatever the task. And this is in regards to getting out of the abyssal hells and getting back to Soren and not turning to the dark side.
Chapter 7 is my mother. We're back from Gray's perspective, so picking up, he has gathered honeysuckles to take to his mom's grave, and Fila is walking to the grave with him. They're trying to figure out what his fear is. He has kind of a couple assumptions, and he's talking to Fila about her fear, and she's like, I'm afraid of boys. Well, kind of more specifically, intimacy. I think it's kind of gross. So, very, very interesting perspective. And Gray, although I like that he pushes her towards Nesbit because they kind of have their own little ship thing of some sort going on. But it also feels very much like Gray's like, I don't know what to do with this. You know what? Nesbit can have it, and just like pawns it off on him.
I mean, to be fair, and to Gray's defense, Nesbit is the one that knows a lot of things and reads a lot of books, so he's probably found something. Granted, he did have a little tidbit of advice for us early on in the series, where he said that his uncles said that girls are nothing but a distraction to men and make men do stupid things.
True, but they do cause us to do stupid things. The distraction part, I think, would be argued. I think there's a lot of benefit there. But yeah, I would admit I've done stupid things for a girl before.
Absolutely. And in Chapter 8, Out of Control, Twain's most cat-like statement is, "You're my Arcanist. You need to entertain me when I'm bored." Like, you can't get more cat than that. Gray makes a joke of jumping from the crow's nest at 60 feet up off of the ship, or off the main mast of the ship. And fun fact, 3 stories or roughly 40 feet falling from that distance has a greater than 50% chance of surviving, and like 50 to 100% chance. Assuming you don't like land on your head or like in a particular manner. And apparently that chance of survival drops drastically over 50 feet. So don't ask me why I thought about looking into that, but yeah. So 60 feet, probably won't. Maybe because he's an Arcanist, he has that slightest chance where he probably won't die instantly, so he'll probably recover, but it's gonna hurt like hell. And of course, Lucian is standing right behind him when he makes this comment, and makes Gray freeze on the spot. And so then he's like, okay, well maybe I'll just start by climbing up to the crow's nest, and then I'll climb back down. And as he is climbing up the rigging, he finally does that, oh shit, I'm afraid of heights, I'm gonna look down, and gets that nausea or the swirling tunnel vision thing where like, oh shit, I shouldn't have looked down. And he makes his way back down the rigging, and Phyla is cheering him on as she said that he had almost got up halfway.
So close.
So close. And she even makes a comment about how like the other crew members probably go up and down that thing all the time, so like it's definitely plausible to do. Gray also kind of elaborates on his fear, not specifically falling or falling to his death, anything like that. It's more specifically not being in control, which that's a solid, respectful thing to be afraid of. Unlike me, where I'm deathly afraid of clowns.
Also a reasonable thing to be afraid of. Somebody once explained to me, he's like, there's 2 types of people in this world. He's like, there's people that are afraid of clowns, and there's clowns. We do come into Chapter 9, the Lolian house. So pretty much, Xe just owns the whole port. So yeah, we're seeing some riches of the rich right here. Her aunt, who is an artificer and kind of the one who runs the whole compound, they have mystical creatures and they use it to harvest parts and do research, and it is a massive, massive undertaking. Her aunt's name, Helena Lolian, and she actually created the source of the storm. So she and Lucian are already friendly, I will say. I won't say they're friends, but they at least know each other. And we find out that the source of the storm is made from the piece of a god creature. Xe is just now kind of learning this piece of the story, and honestly doesn't really care about Nini. Kind of the only thing she cares about is Soren, and luckily for her and luckily for Gray, Soren's in the courtyard.
So now we have to get to the courtyard, because remember, Exie's house is just absolutely massive because she's a spoiled little princess. You know. So, chapter 10, my brother, they're walking through the house, and Gray's noticing all of the Michelangelo paintings on the ceiling of their house. And he actually ends up seeing a depiction of a phoenix dragon on the ceiling. And Gray kind of like, does anybody know who Xuandi is? Maybe, possibly. And everybody's drawing blanks. They have no idea who he is or what the Phoenix Dragon is. At some point, Gray, Twain, Phyla, and Tenok decide that they are going to race to the courtyard, and they run as fast as they can while Exie is continuing her calm, dignified pace in her attire as she is dressed up, not to run, but to be seen. And as they get to the courtyard, Gray has this beautiful reunion with his brother, and his brother's out training with Professor Jiju, and like super happy and excited for everybody. And then Gray has to explain all that has happened and all that is happening. And Exie finally gets to the courtyard after everybody else and was like, what about the wedding? And of course Soren's like, do you mean the wedding? Like, Nini's in the house. This is the last thing we need to be doing right now is worried about a wedding. Like, gosh, Eggsy, fucking dick.
She's just trying to just poke. She just wants to poke.
Like, I don't know what she was trying to accomplish out of that statement, because clearly it's not going to have anything to do with, like, him disliking Nini any more than he already does. So then just to piss him off, I guess. Maybe she finds that very attractive.
I do love an angry man.
But with that ends this week's sections of chapters 6 through 10 of Labyrinth Arcanist. Next week we'll be getting through 11 through 15. And Scott, do you have anything else you'd like to add this week?
I realized our chapters had both my mother and my brother, and I'm really curious if like there's going to be a chapter my father later on.
I don't know why, but that makes me think of Doctor Who. Father of mine.
Yes.
But with that, we will end today's episode, and look forward to talking with you guys next week.